What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Canadian news. Because as an American, I never get to hear about Canadian news here in the United States from any of our news. So today, I'd like to take some time to learn about the current news and events happening in Canada right now that I otherwise would never get to hear about. So let's take a look, starting with Good Samaritans foil a Vancouver robbery, save a shopkeeper. We got a couple of Canadian heroes. This is very good news. What a wholesome story. Okay, perfect. What a nice story to start on. Good Samaritans foil a Vancouver robbery. Were they wearing were they shooting webs out of their hands? And was it Spider-Man? This is you don't hear about this every day, this kind of thing. And actually save the shopkeeper. Three men came to the aid of a young woman who was attacked as she closed up her convenience store. Oh, wow, a trio of Good Samaritans thwarted an attempted robbery in Vancouver. Very good. I don't know if they have security footage or anything of this. That might be kind of interesting to see. I don't know if they not that I condone violence or anything, but I don't know if they had to beat up this robber and, drag him off to jail. Or is that weird that in my mind that's how it goes? Maybe they were just like, "Hey, stop," and called the police. But either way, very well done. A 23-year-old shopkeeper was grabbed from behind by a masked man with a knife. Oh my god. Yeah, this really isn't a laughing matter. That's terrifying. This woman was grabbed by a masked man, like in a ski mask, like you see in a cartoon or something, and a knife put up to her while closing up a convenience store. The suspect threatened to stab the woman and was forcing her into a nearby alley. This is terrifying. Oh my god, thank goodness these men were there. At the same time, a man driving by noticed the pair and thought something appeared off. He pulled over and flagged others for help. You know, sad as it is to say, in this day and age, certainly here in the United States, it's sad to say, even when someone's yelling for help or looks in distress or pretty obviously needs your help, not everyone is just going to stop what they're doing and go offer help. Sadly, it feels like that's kind of the day and age that we're in, where people are a little desensitized, or I don't know, lacking that feeling of personal responsibility, or just don't want to put themselves in danger, which I get, but this is really cool to hear about. I just gotta say that not everybody would necessarily stop what they're doing and go check out if this woman needs help and actually do something about it. In this case, everybody did exactly what we encourage people to do. The victim made noise, she called for help, she got attention, they called 911, they yelled at the suspect, and we believe those actions caused the suspect to release the victim. Yeah, that's all you gotta do sometimes. You don't gotta run over and do what I was saying, perform some heroic stunt like you're Spider-Man or something. You don't gotta get in a fight. Sometimes just making your presence known, just saying hey, what are you doing? Or, making it clear that you're there and you see them and other people are aware, will make bad people give up. Just that simply, with the littlest bit of resistance. That might be enough to make them give up their little robbery attempt and run away. Or at least that's worth, trying. So yeah, very well done. That's nice to hear about, genuinely. Next, Amazon rejects a plea to stop selling taxi roof signs as cab scam spreads across Canada? Cab scam spreading across Canada. What on earth is this? Are you I have certainly not heard about this. So Amazon is selling taxi roof signs. This sign you put on the top of your car. You can buy it off Amazon, even if you're not a taxi driver. So there's a scam where people buy this and pretend to be a taxi? And then do what? And also, Amazon has rejected the plea to stop the sale of these taxi roof signs. So this scam will continue. Is it really spreading across Canada? Anyone out there been the victim of this scam? My God. Fake drivers swap passengers' debit cards with 1.7 million in losses reported. Fake taxi drivers swap passengers' debit cards. So you get into this fake taxi and they somehow get your debit card information. After a long day at the work event, Catherine Kozady was relieved when she spotted a car with a taxi sign. Oh my goodness gracious. She thought it was odd when the driver said she'd have to pay her fare with a debit card, but she still hopped in the car. I was like, fine, kind of weird, but let's go home. That's very much my thought process with a lot of things in life. It's like, that's kind of weird, but okay. This world is weird. That would be me, sadly. So they're like, yeah, okay, they want a debit card, sure, whatever, just take me home. Next day, she discovered $2,000 missing from her bank account. Wow, the taxi driver was a fraudster. Wow, during the transaction, they stole her PIN number, stole her card, and handed her back a fake card. Really? They handed her back a fake? How did they get a perfect duplicate of her card that quick? This is kind of an advanced scam. I'll give them that. Wow. So this is like a problem in Canada? Fake taxi drivers? Oh my God. But yeah, watch out for that. Jeez. What else? Quebec Premier. What is a premier? Quebec Premier? Is that like Canada's equivalent of like a governor or something? Or the Quebec Premier pushes for a plan to improve manners and discipline in schools? Manners? Discipline? I wouldn't know the first things about that. But this Quebec Premier wants to implement like a manner and discipline teaching in schools? Is that what we're saying? More details. Can we get more details on this? He agrees with his party's youth wing that there needs to be more respect, more discipline, and better manners in schools. That's right, you bad kids! You need to learn respect. Back in my day, we had manners. We used the proper salad fork when eating our food. Okay. I'm poking jokes at this, but it's like, obviously kids need to learn, like, respect, manners, how to conduct themselves in a civilized community, how to be a productive member of society. And you learn a lot of that in school when you're a kid. That's where you're spending the vast majority of your time. So this isn't that crazy. He aims at creating a culture of civility. I'm just curious how they're going to do this. They're proposing that children, starting maybe in kindergarten, address others with more formal language, using the French pronoun vous instead of tu. I know tu means you in French. So vous is like addressing someone in a more formal manner. You say vous. So so just something as small as that, using more respectful language. They want to implement uniforms. Oh boy, that would... Whew, good luck, like in America, good luck. Like, no way. Like, if we're talking about public schools, like kids, I don't think it would work. People in America are, and I assume Canada too, right? Like, you don't normally have uniforms. Like, kids are used to wearing whatever the heck they want. within reason, with in accordance to the school dress code. But man, uniforms, they do that in, like, don't they do that? They do that in the UK, right? You got to buy like this nice uniform, wear a tie, and it's just considered normal in the UK. Not that we have to be like the UK, but I'm guessing it does something to their culture, like growing up when you have to like make sure your uniform is clean and put it on, and I don't know, take some personal responsibility. I don't know what to think about that. I see pros and cons. They want to impose more serious penalties for bullies and violent students. Good. And training for when students and parents address that behavior. Interesting. Hard to like argue too much with Quebec just wanting more order and responsibility taught to kids. It's just like make if you're doing that, just make sure it's done in a proper manner, you know? Like like back in the day, you'd like be smacked with a paddle, right? And like hit with an eraser to teach you manners. I'm not saying maybe not that, but yeah, kids should be taught like to be respectful. I don't see a problem with that. What else? Air Canada could begin suspending flights next weekend as strike deadline nears. I think we heard a little bit about this last week in the Canadian news during that video. There's a strike with Air Canada, that's a Canadian airline, that could begin suspending flights next weekend. Wow. This must be a huge pain for Canadians if your flights are getting canceled. But that's the point of a strike, right? That's the point. It's supposed to be a huge pain so that it attracts attention and change is implemented. Air Canada pilots will be in legal strike on September 17th. Yeah, that's getting closer and closer. Wow. So this is a big thing in Canada. Like full-on airline strike. They're finalizing their plans to suspend most of its operations. Wow, talks with the pilot union are at an impasse. That means they like haven't come to a conclusion? Wow. Wow, this is a big deal in Canada, huh? Sounds like a really big deal. The airline's gonna shut down, essentially. They're gonna suspend flights starting early as September 15th, unless an agreement is reached. Wow. They're gonna issue a 72-hour strike notice, and then they're gonna do it. Wow. Huh. Man, that's a pretty big deal. It's going to affect a lot of people. I hope they can come to some kind of a agreement. I know the Air Canada like pilots and employees must have a list of demands. Hopefully they can work something out. What's this? Girl 14 charged with attempted murder after allegedly setting classmate on fire at a Saskatoon high school. What? Huh? Did I read this correctly? Girl, 14 years old, was charged with attempted murder after allegedly setting a classmate on fire? Oh my God. What is this story? First, okay. I got a lot of thoughts on this. This is not what I expected to see today. This is in Saskatchewan. Just a 14-year-old charged with attempted murder. Yes, I would call that attempted murder. Setting someone on fire. What, a teenager? After she allegedly set someone. I never understand the allegedly thing. Like, did they set someone on fire or not? What do you mean? What do you mean allegedly? Has it not been proven? I don't want to slander anybody if they didn't actually do it, but apparently a little girl set someone on fire at a high school. Students who witnessed the incident called 911, said they're scared and shocked. Yeah. What is this? 14-year-old girl accused of seriously injuring a 15-year-old classmate by lighting her on fire at Evan Hardley Collegiate in Saskatoon has been charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and arson. No way. What a bizarre, sad story. Why did this happen? What possible reason? I mean, I say this oftentimes, I think. It's like when someone does a horrible, horrible act to someone else, does the motive really matter? No. It was a horrible act. Like, disgusting. I guess we're just kind of interested as humans. Like, why would you do that? Probably because you're a little bit insane. Like, for lack of a better word, you're probably not quite right. Setting someone on fire, like, oh my God. The accused, who cannot be named, I guess because they're too young, wept throughout their appearance in Saskatoon Provincial Court. They wept. Okay, you're crying, but you set someone on fire. Like, it's hard to feel sorry for you. Like, I bet the person you set on fire was weeping as they were burning in excruciating agony, Like, are they okay, by the way? There's nothing here. This is all, it said attempted murder. So, the 15-year-old classmate was not killed, which is fantastic. Very good. That's good. Incredible. Oh my God. How? I got a lot of weird questions about, like, how did they set them on fire? Why? Judge Doug Anu ordered she attend in person so they could see the teen who wore a hoodie before remanding her into custody. Okay, let's hear about the actual event, I think. Do they have details? Grade 9 student Sophie and her friend Lexi were leaving social studies class when the incident occurred. They said she saw a girl pour liquid from a black container onto another girl and lift a hand toward the other girl's head. She then saw the victim on fire in the hallway. Neither student saw what was used to ignite the fire. Wow. So the accused had a black container of, whatever, gasoline, and they poured it on another girl's head or body and then lit them on fire. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's two witnesses. Wow. They were yelling for the victim to roll on the ground, help extinguish the fire. They used fire extinguishers. I couldn't believe it was real. Yeah. These are the two kids who witnessed the event. Probably scarred for life. The two students said the accused ran away and teachers chased after her. So they caught the accused. What are you... Wow. Crazy. Okay, there's a lot to that story, but wow. That's... Whew! That must be pretty big news in Canada. Like, what? Okay, that's quite a bit of time. See if there's any little news articles here that we want to look at. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. That's gonna stick with me. How the NDP's deal with the Liberals died? Well, wait. This is another thing that is kind of continuing from last week. The NDP has a deal with the Liberal Party so that an election is not called, like, soon, right? Isn't the Liberal Party depending on the NDP so that an election isn't called? So if the deal is dead, does that mean an election could be called sooner? Believe me, I don't know much about Canadian politics, but isn't that true? Am I wrong about that? Anything else here? First human case of rabies in Ontario since 1967. What is going what is going on? First human case of rabies in Ontario in 50 years. What? Rabies? Canada has listeria, whooping cough, monkeypox, rabies. Crazy times we're living in. Smoky skies blanket part of British Columbia as wildfires grow. Oh my god, the wildfires. The wildfires. I think Jasper is starting to recover from that based on what we've been reading the last few weeks, but wildfires in general seem to be plaguing British Columbia nonetheless. There's a Maine man arrested after shooting, leaving one person dead in New Brunswick. A Maine, like an American, it from Maine, shot a New Brunswickan, New Brunswicker, New Brunswickite. What? 47-year-old man from Maine, subject of a manhunt, has been arrested. Like an American shot someone in New Brunswick? Oh my god. Well, I hope they caught him. Oh my god, what is going on? Huh, there's a lot of, man, I could just go on and on and on. There's a lot of Canadian news. Lot of Canadian news. Jasper wildfire now under control. Good, very good, very good. Yeah, I'm sure there's more news that, why doesn't Canada have more electric school buses? Why doesn't America have more electric school buses? That's a question, good question, actually. Okay, but I think for the sake of time, we got some of the big stories, I think. Oh my god. Whew! But I think we're going to stop here for now. That was very interesting. If you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on this week's Canadian news. If there's more Canadian news stories I missed that are important, that'd be great to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and learning about Canadian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.